Maggie J. And these are my stories.
Over 40 years ago, I proposed to Lisbeth and promised her that I would show her the world. I still believe to this day that this was one of the reasons why she said yes in the first place, if not the main reason. She denies it, but I know for a fact that she only began to love me over time. We were young, stupid, and trapped in a world of dreariness. Who wouldn't have said yes if they were promised the world? I asked her if she wanted to be my wife the very first evening she went out with me. She laughed and called me crazy. Yes, that was me, crazy. I really was. I wish I'd known better back then. But I didn't, so I kept going, persisted, and asked her again and again until she finally agreed, and we walked down the aisle a little later. We've now been married for 40 years, and we've seen nothing of the world, apart from a few short vacations with the children in Colorado. But let's be honest, that doesn't count. Lisbeth keeps saying that she doesn't mind that we haven't traveled much, but I could always see the sadness in her eyes when she talked about her friends who flew here and traveled there. Lisbeth wouldn't have cared where we traveled, just that we got away. It made me sad not to be able to make this possible for my wife, but there was the job. Then came the first child, the promotion, more children. We didn't have the time or the money to travel. As we got older, and it became painfully clear to us that this was not the life we had imagined, it was already too late to change anything. We were no longer young. We could no longer do what we wanted. The hamster wheel we had gotten ourselves into kept us trapped, and escape seemed impossible. The only thing that kept us going was our plan for our 40th wedding anniversary. If I couldn't open up the world to Lisbeth, I at least wanted to give her the chance to look through the keyhole. 14 days on a cruise ship in the Caribbean, a long-cherished dream of hers, and now, for the 40th anniversary of our marriage, we are going on the ship. 40 years of marriage. Oh, what a long time. We are the dream couple for many. We were back then, and we still are today, at least from the outside. It often looks more glamorous on the outside than it is on the inside, doesn't it? An intact facade holds the fragile inner life together, no matter how broken it is, no matter how many maggots are cavorting in the bowels, wallowing and feasting on what's left. Oh yes, 40 years. That's worth a cruise, isn't it? 14 days in which your every wish is anticipated, tropical islands, glorious weather, a cocktail for breakfast in the morning, paradise. And then you're thrust back into the gray, cold daily grind where every day is like the next and you're just waiting for the end. We've been saving up for this trip for long enough. Since the children have left home, it's also a lot easier, it has to be said. My goodness, the children, they got on our last nerve. It was hard work bringing them up. They caused us so much grief, cost us so much money and nerves, so much of everything. And in the end, they also cost me and Lisbeth our love. We've always tried to keep our marriage alive as best we could, but it's hard work and the other person often drives you mad. Well, actually, it's just work, and over the years, it gets more and more grumbling and nagging, complaints here and there, lost dreams, wasted youth. Even if it's never said, I'm sure Lisbeth regrets marrying me. Well, I regret it at least. If only I had looked for someone else back then, or simply stayed single, I would have been spared a lot of suffering. But as I've already mentioned, I was young and stupid, and so I made the biggest mistake of my life. Now I'm no longer young, but life isn't over yet, and I'm planning to change something. A cruise. Oh yes, a cruise where the dream couple goes together and only one comes back. So many people are lost on the high seas every year, simply overboard. Nobody notices until the end, when it's already too late. Terrible, isn't it? Well, accidents are tragic. But they do happen, don't they?
Don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. I am looking forward to your feedback.